the number of comedians that are headed over to Saudi Arabia to do a comedy festival, I think it's taking place over several days because it's like 20 guys that are telling jokes in the desert, is really wild. It includes a lot of people that we like as well here who've been on the show. Andrew Schultz, big fan. Jeff Ross, Sebastian Maniscalco, Gabriel Iglesias, Kevin Hart. You're laughing already. Chris DiStefano, Pete Davidson, Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr, Hannibal Buress, Wayne Brady, all headed over there. Let me just start with, what are your thoughts? Do you wish you were getting the big Saudi money?
I don't know if you're aware, but comedians are all whores.
Yes.
I'm not sure if people know this anymore because we've become like political pundits in this insane time. But I feel like people are holding them to this standard that is surprising to me, knowing comedians. Some of them are more surprising than others. Bill Burr is surprising to me because he's been on this like free Luigi anti-billionaire tangent that he's been going off on, and you're going to go to Saudi and take trillionaire money. Like billionaires are bad, but trillionaires are okay. That one's surprising to me. Dave Chappelle said no to millions of dollars and moved to Africa, and now he's doing this. Seems like he might regret that decision of saying no to all that money, and now he's trying to make up for it. The other guys, I'm of many minds about this. I really don't want to hear any lectures about free speech from the headliners of the Saudi Arabian Comedy Festival. I also don't really blame people for getting that bag because as someone who does comedy, these people slept on mattresses. Like, it's the hardest grind in the world to get to the level that they're at. That being said, they're all rich. I don't know why they need this money. Like, these guys are all flying around in private jets. A lot of them, not all of them, but they're very wealthy already. So I was thinking, like, what is the dollar value that I would sell my morals out at? And it's got to be at least 8 figures. I don't think I would do it for just a measly 7 or 6 figures. And the other thing that I don't, I was looking at some of the contracts too, because they've been posted online now. And one of the contracts said that, the management was like, we have to get the flight there. Like, excuse me, if I'm not in a pod on Emirates in first class, there's no way I'm going to Saudi to do comedy and paying for my flight there. That's insane. But that seems like probably a lower tier of comedian in the only measly 6 figures. The other thing, I really don't think it's fair to talk about this without talking about how you can't talk about taking money from Saudi without talking about the VC money. It's everywhere in venture capitalism. They just bought EA. They own part of X. Like, why are these comedians supposed to? Now, granted, they're not necessarily going to Saudi Arabia, and they're not comedians whose whole thing is free speech. But I do, and doing comedy for a murderous regime. But I do think it's not entirely fair to say they can't get that money, but everybody in tech can. And right. I don't know. I have a lot. I'm of many minds.
What is the bag?
Let's
talk through it. I am too. I want to go through it, but you seem to know, and I don't know. And I'll tell you why I'm curious. Well, I'm curious just because I'm curious, but we can apply it to the conversation in a minute. The Live Golf guys. I mean, they got obscene amounts of money compared to what they were making on the PGA. Like, obscene.
Yeah.
Is that what happened in this? Like, Dave Chappelle's got to be getting obscene money. Any idea what they're getting?
What's being reported is anywhere from like 365 to 1.6, and it's got to be more than that for some of these guys. It has to. I want to and have to believe that it has to be more than that. Now, granted, $1.6 million for one show is a lot of money, but it still comes with this cost of everyone. I mean, Pete Davidson, that's crazy. His dad was in
Well,
the towers on 9/11. How are you
9/11.
going to Saudi Arabia
I know.
doing this? Unless you're doing it for the bit, which, by the way, Pete, I completely understand. Now, I do think comedians have been put on this pedestal that's weird to me over the past like decade because they've been speaking out against cancel culture and all this stuff, and it's like, no, none. I don't think comedians should. They're slippery mercenaries. They're tricksters. This is he who dupes others, but who also dupes himself. Like you cannot. I don't think they should be put on the pedestal as these philosopher kings who are going to uphold morals for society. It's like through their actions, all morals should come into being.
I totally agree. Okay, here's what I want to do. To organize this conversation, I'm going to come back to comedians. I want to just talk about the other stuff you said for just a minute. So, well, Louis C.K.'s on the list, by the way. And if it's 1.6 million, I mean, several years ago after Louis C.K. was canceled, there was talk of him going direct to the consumer and doing shows and making much more than that, it seemed like, on his direct-to-consumer shows. So it just doesn't feel like this is big enough money to even go through all this stuff that you and I are talking about. It's got to be bigger money. It's got to be. Your point about venture capital and tech companies and sports figures all getting Saudi money and Saudi money really playing a role in our economy at large, where I'm not sure any of us are living pristine and can really do this from a place of a glass house, or whatever. I butchered that. But, we're not doing this from, purity here, any of us. But Mark Maron did say, well, how are they going to intro the comedy festival? From the folks who brought you 9/11, and then here comes Pete Davidson. It's a tough question. Was it Jon Stewart that famously had this where he's like, no, I can't remember who it was, but like, would you sleep with me, for $10 million? Yes. Would you sleep with me for $100? No. What do you think I am, a whore? Well, we've already established what you are. Now we're negotiating. At some point, we are all whores, not just comedians. And it makes you wonder for all of us on this money, like, where is our line? And I don't know. It's certainly not a moral line, I don't think. But it's funny you say what the number is. Your number apparently is higher than everyone on this comedy festival, 8 figures.
I don't think that because I don't think that it's. By showing up there, you're giving them legitimacy, which is what they want. So you're doing a lot of work on their behalf, the Saudi Arabian behalf, saying like, see, we've got these comedians coming, and look how it's like when they feed hostages really well, and then they make them do a video, and they're like, it's like Hamas treating the hostages well, like, look how well we're feeding these hostages. That it has a little bit of that vibe to me of see how well we're treating these comedians. We're letting them make their little silly jokes, and maybe we'll even let Whitney drive while she's here. They are letting women drive, and I guess there's a lot of accidents now, so there is some kind of joke in that. But